It's he! Here he comes! Stephen's back again! Welcome back, Stepan. Good morning, Dora. 3 years, just think. Yes, 3 long, empty years. That day when they arrested me, I was on my way to join you. We were expecting you every moment. I'll never forget how my heart sank deeper and deeper as the minutes ticked away. We didn't dare look to each other in the face. Oh, and of course, we had to move at once to a new apartment. I know. And over there, Stepan, how was it? Over there? In the prison, I mean. One escapes, with luck. Yes. When we heard that you'd got through to Switzerland, well, you know how we felt. Switzerland, too, is a prison. Oh, come now. They're free there. Anyhow, freedom can be a prison so long as a single man on earth is kept in bondage. I myself was free, of course, but all the time I was thinking of Russia and her slaves. I'm glad, Stepan, that the party sent you here. They had to. That atmosphere of smug inertia was stifling me. Ah, to act at last. We shall kill him. You're sure of that? Quite sure. We shall kill that bloodthirsty tyrant. Ah, you're the leader, Boria, and I shall obey you. Never fear. I don't need your promise, Stepan. We all are brothers. But discipline's essential. That's something I learned in the convict prison. The Revolutionary Socialist Party cannot do without it. We must be disciplined if we're to kill the Grand Duke and put an end to tyranny. Sit down, Stepan. You must be tired after that long journey. I'm never tired. Is everything okay, Boria? For a month now, two of our group have been watching the Grand Duke's movements hour by hour. Dora has compiled all the facts we need to know. Has the proclamation been drawn up? Yes. All Russia will know that the Revolutionary Socialist Party has executed the Grand Duke's urge so as to bring nearer the day when the Russian people are set free. And the Imperial Court will learn that we are resolved to carry on the reign of terror, of which this bomb is the beginning, until the land is given back to its rightful owners, to the people. Yes, Stepan, everything's set, and we won't have long to wait. Where exactly do I come in on this? To begin with, you will help Dora. You'll replace Schweitzer, who used to work with her. Has he been killed? Yes. How? In an accident. And then, we'll see. You must be on hand to replace me if the need arises, and to ensure our liaison with the Central Committee. And our comrades here, who are they? You met Voinov in Switzerland. He's only a youngster, but thoroughly dependable. Then there's Yannick. You don't know him, do you? Yannick? His real name is Ivan Kalyayev. The poet is another name we have for him. There's no name for a terrorist. Yannick wouldn't agree with you. He says all poetry is revolutionary. There's only one thing that is revolutionary: the bomb. Do you think, Dora, that I can be of help to you? I'm sure you can. The great thing to be careful about is not to break the tube. And if it breaks, that's how Schweitzer died. Why are you smiling, Stepan? Am I smiling? Yes, I sometimes do. Not very often, though. Tell me, Dora, would one bomb be enough to blow up this house? To blow it up? Hardly that, but it would do quite a lot of damage. How many bombs would be needed to blow up Moscow? Have you gone crazy? Oh, what do you mean? Oh, nothing. Stepan. Good morning, Voinov. Everything go off all right, Alexis? Yes. Have you studied the route from the palace to the theater? I can make a sketch of it right away. Look. Turnings, narrow streets, crossings. The carriage will go by under our windows. What do these two crosses mean? One's a little square where the horses will have to slow down. The other's the theater where they will stop. Those are the best places, in my opinion. Right, give it to me. Uh, uh, Many police spies around? I'm afraid so. Do they rattle you? Well, I can't say I feel at ease when they're around. Nobody does. You needn't worry over that. It's not that I'm afraid, only somehow I can't get used to lying. Everybody lies. What's important is to lie well. That's what I find so hard. When I was at the university, the other students were always teasing me because I never could hide my feelings. I always blurted everything out. Finally, I was expelled. Why? In the history course, my tutor asked me how Peter the Great founded St. Petersburg. That's a good question. I answered with blood and the knout. I was promptly expelled. Yes. And then? Then I realized that just to denounce injustice wasn't enough. One must give one's life to fighting it, and now I'm happy. And yet, you have to lie. For the present, yes, but I'll be done with lying on the day I know the bomb. I throw the bomb. That's Yannick. It wasn't the same signal. Oh, that's one of Yannick's little jokes. He has his private signal. Yannick, this is Stepan, who's replacing Schweitzer. Welcome, brother. Thanks. Yannick, are you sure you'll recognize the carriage? Yes, I've had two good long looks at it. I'd recognize it among 1,000, 100 yards away. I have noted every detail, for instance, that one of the panes of the left-hand lamp is chipped. And the police spies? A host of them. But we're old friends. They buy cigarettes from me. Has Pavel confirmed our information? The Grand Duke is due to go to the theater this week. In a few minutes, Pavel will know the exact day and leave a message with the door porter. We're in luck, Dora. I see you've discarded your peddler's outfit. You're quite the grand gentleman today, and I must say it suits you. But don't you miss your smock? I certainly do. You can't think how proud of it I was. I began by spending 2 months watching peddlers on their job. Then another month or so practicing in my little bedroom. My colleagues never suspected a thing. I heard one of them saying, "He's a wonder." Why, he'd sell the Tsar's horses and get away with it. In fact, they tried to learn my tricks. And of course you laughed. You know quite well I can't help laughing. Anyhow, it was all so entertaining to plunge into a brand new life, wearing that fancy dress. I can't bear fancy dress. Look at what I'm wearing now. Some actress's cast-off frock. Really, Boria might have chosen something else. There's nothing of the actress about me. I'm an incorrigibly simple heart. But you look so pretty in it. Pretty. I'd like to be pretty, but that's one of the things I mustn't think about. Why not? Dora's Dora, there's always such a sad look in your eyes, but you should be gay. You should be proud. There's so much beauty in the world, so much joy in those quiet places where my heart once spoke to yours. I breathed eternal summer. Oh, Dora, you remember those lines, and you're smiling. How glad I am. We're wasting our time, Boria. Hadn't we better go down and see the porter? Yes. Would you go down, Dora? Don't forget the tip. Then Voinov will help you to get the stuff together in the bedroom. I want to throw the bomb. No, Stepan, that's exactly been decided. Boria, I beg you to let me throw it. You know much better that means to me. No, orders are orders. I'm in the same position. I have to stay here while others man the firing line. It's hard, but discipline must be maintained. Who is to throw the first bomb? I am. And Voinov the second. You? Why do you sound so surprised? Don't you feel I can be trusted? Experience is needed. Experience? But you know quite well that one throws a bomb just once and then no one has ever had a second chance. A steady hand is needed. Look, do you think that hand will tremble? It'll be steady as a rock, I assure you. When the time comes, or do you suppose I'd hesitate when I have that tyrant in front of me? No, you can't seriously imagine that. And even if for some reason my arm started shaking, I know a certain way of killing the Grand Duke. What way? I'd throw myself under the horse's feet. No, that's not on the program. Your orders are to try to get away. The group needs you, and you must save your life if you can. Then so be it. I realize the honor that's being done me, and I promise to be worthy of it. You, Stephen, will be in the street while Yannick and Alexis are waiting for the carriage. I want you to stroll up and down in front of our windows. We'll settle on the signal you're to give. I and Dora will wait here, ready to launch our manifesto when the moment comes. With any reasonable luck, we'll lay the Grand Duke low. Yes, I'll lay him low, and how glorious if it comes off, though of course the Grand Duke's nothing. We must strike higher, the Grand Duke to begin with. And suppose we fail, then, Borea, we must act like the Japanese. What do you mean? During the war, the Japanese never surrendered. They killed themselves. No, Yannick, don't think of suicide. Of what then? Of carrying on our work of terrorism. To commit suicide, a man must have a great love for himself. A true revolutionary cannot love himself. A true revolutionary? Why are you behaving to me like this? What have you got against me? I don't like people who dabble with revolution simply because they're bored. Stephen. Yes, I'm brutal, but for me, hatred is not just a game. We haven't joined together to admire each other. We have joined together to get something done. Why are you being rude to me? Who told you I was bored? There was no need to tell me. You change the signals, you enjoy dressing up as a peddler, you recite poems, you want to throw yourself under the horse's feet, and now you're talking about suicide. No, I can't say you inspire me with confidence. You don't know me, brother. I'm never bored, and I love life. I joined the revolution because I love life. I do not love life. I love something higher, and that is justice. Each of us serves the cause of justice in his own manner, you in yours and I in mine. Why not agree to differ? And let's love each other if we can. We cannot. What then are you doing among us? I've come to kill a man, not to love him, or to agree to differ from him. You will not kill him single-handed or on behalf of nothing. You will kill him with us on behalf of the Russian people. That is what justifies your act. Don't prate of justification. I got all the justification I need 3 years ago, one night in the convict prison, and I refuse to tolerate. That's enough. Have you both gone off your heads? Have you forgotten what binds us together? That we all are brothers, working hand in hand to punish the tyrants and set our people free. Together we shall kill, and nothing can divide us. Come along, Stephen. We'll have to settle on the signal. Don't take it to heart, Yannick. Stephen has suffered terribly. I'll talk to him. He insulted me, boy. What's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? We've come to words already. He doesn't like me. Stephen doesn't like anybody. That's how he is. But he will be happier when everything is over. Don't be sad, Yannick. I am sad. I want you all to love me. When I joined the group, I cut adrift from everything, and if my brothers turn against me, how can I bear it? Time and again I feel they do not understand me. Perhaps it's my fault. I know I'm often clumsy. I don't say the right things. They love you, and they understand you. Only Stepan's different. No. I can guess what he thinks. I heard Schweitzer say much the same thing. Yannick's too flighty, too eccentric for a revolutionary. I'd have them know that I'm not the least bit flighty. Imagine I strike them as being impulsive, crack-brained, very likely. Yet I believe in our ideal quite as firmly as they do, like them. I'm ready to give my life up for it. I, too, can be cunning, silent, resourceful when it's called for, only I'm still convinced that life is a glorious thing. I'm in love with beauty, happiness. That's why I hate despotism. The trouble is to make them understand this. Revolution, by all means, but revolution for the sake of life, to give life a chance, if you see what I mean. Yes, yes, I do. Only what we're going to give isn't life, but death. We. Oh, I see what you mean, but that's not the same thing at all. When we kill, we're killing so as to build up a world in which there will be no more killing. We consent to being criminals so that at least the innocent, and only they, will inherit the earth. And suppose it didn't work out like that. How can you say such a thing? It's unthinkable. Then Stepan would be right, and we'd have to spit in the face of beauty. I'd have more experience than you in this work, and I know that nothing so simple as you imagine. But you have faith, and faith is what we need, all of us. Faith. No. Only one man had faith in that sense. Well, let's say then that you have an indomitable soul, and you will see it through, no matter at what cost. Why did you ask to throw the first bomb? When one's a terrorist, can one talk of direct action without taking part in it? No. And one must be in the forefront, of course. Yes, there's the forefront, and there's also the last moment. We all should think of that. That's where courage lies, and the selfless ardor we all need. You, too, need. For a year now, that has never left my thoughts. I've been living for that moment, day by day, hour by hour. And I know now that I'd like to die on the spot beside the Grand Duke, to shed my blood to the last drop, or blaze up like tinder in the flare of the explosion, and leave not a shred of me behind. Do you understand why I asked to throw the bomb? To die for an ideal. That's the only way of proving oneself worthy of it. It's our only justification. That's the death I too desire. Yes, the happiest end of all. Sometimes at night, when I'm lying awake on the thin straw mattress that's all a peddler can afford, I'm worried by the thought that they have forced us into being murderers. But then I remind myself that I'm going to die too, and that everything's all right. I smile to myself like a child and go happily to sleep. That's how it should be, Yannick. To kill and to die on the spot. But to my mind, is a still greater happiness. The scaffold. Yes, I too have thought of that. There's something incomplete in dying on the spot. Well, between the moment the bomb is thrown and the scaffold, there is an eternity. Perhaps the only eternity a man can know. And that's the thought which must help you through. We are paying more than we owe. What do you mean? We're forced to kill, aren't we? We deliberately immolate a life, a single life. Yes. But throwing the bomb and then climbing the scaffold, that's giving one's life twice. Thus we pay more than we owe. Yes, it's dying twice over. Thank you, Dora. There's nothing with which anyone can reproach us. Now I'm sure of myself. What is it, Dora? Why are you silent? I'd like to help you in another way as well, only what? No, I'd better not. Do you trust me? It's not that I don't trust you, darling. I don't trust myself. Ever since Schweitzer's death, I've been having queer ideas. And anyhow, it's not for me to tell you what will be so difficult. But I like things that are difficult. Unless you have a very low opinion of me, say what you have in mind. I know you're brave. That, in fact, is what makes me anxious. You laugh, you work yourself up, you go forward to the sacrifice in a sort of rapture. But in a few hours' time, you'll have to come out of your dream and face reality, the dreadful thing you are to do. Perhaps it's best to speak of this beforehand, so that you won't be taken by surprise and flinch. That's nonsense. I shall not flinch, but please explain. Throwing the bomb, the scaffold, dying twice over. That's the easier part. Your heart will see you through, but standing in the front line, you'll be standing in front. You'll see him. See whom? The Grand Duke. Oh, only for a moment at most. A moment during which you'll look at him. Oh, Yannick, it's best for you to know, to be forewarned. A man is a man. Perhaps the Grand Duke, his gentle eyes, perhaps you'll see him smiling to himself, scratching his ear, perhaps, who knows? You'll see a little scar on his cheek where he cut himself shaving. And if he looks at you at that moment, it's not he I'm killing despotism. That's quite true. And despotism must be killed. I'll get the bomb ready, and when I'm screwing in the tube, that's the moment when it's touch and go and one's nerves are taut. I'll feel a queer little thrill of joy. But then I don't know the Grand Duke. It won't be anything so easy if, while I was screwing in the tube, he was sitting in front of me, looking at me. But you'll see him quite near, from only a yard or two away. I shall not see him. Why? Will you shut your eyes? No. But with God's help, my hatred will surge up just in time and blind me. It's the porter. The Grand Duke's going to the theater tomorrow. Please see that everything is ready, Dora. Yes. I shall kill him with joy.